Oh, which one do you want me to do first? Because I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so that thing, that white thing, it's chalk, I guess. But there was a lot of those, and they didn't all look the same. But if you saw something like that, they were always in front of someone's house. And so if you saw that in front of someone's house, it meant that they were Hindu, or that the Hindu was one of their many religions. So it was actually interesting because we went to some Christian houses that actually had that in front of them. So apparently that was someone who was still confused on the fact of, God's the only God. You can't have multiple. So
it's kind of like one of those things, like if you, we believe that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and on Easter we believe that that is a thing. But if you had an Easter bunny little sticker in your window, or had anything that had to do with the Easter bunny, it's not that, hey, Easter bunny's for the devil. But, it's just like, that's kind of a pagan thing, but yet it's not their primary thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And then that little girl, her name's Martali? Like martini, but Martali. Okay. But that's how I remembered it. But, so that was on the first day that we got there. And, we had been in the house for a little while, but then we came out and we started playing with the kids and stuff. And she was kind of, just checking me out, and she was kind of shy, but I could tell she wanted to, interact with me, but, language barriers, so I didn't know what to do. But they're obsessed with taking pictures. If you pull out your phone, they're going to flock to you. It's not even, So, but I actually kind of had a little moment with her that was just us, and so I was like, do you want to take a picture? And her face lit up, and she was like, okay. And then we were figuring, did different poses and stuff. It was cute.
Is she one of the girls at the orphanage?
Yes, she's one of the that we were staying at. Because we were staying at the main campus of orphanages, not one of the many children's homes that were connected, but they were in different locations.
Right. So just kind of get this picture in your mind. I know when you think of this and you see a group of children and they're all together, you automatically think, okay, a school group, a classroom, or whatever, and they do that as well. But just think about this for a second. When you're in that kind of environment and when you're used to seeing elementary school age children or small children in a group or a classroom, you automatically think, because of our Western minds, you automatically think that they go home to a loving family and people who love them and they have parents and stuff like that. And just think about that for a second. While they're all all those little boys that were around you and getting that attention, and this little girl that was getting that attention from you, this is all that they have that is showing love and acceptance, and that they are worthy, and everything that you get from your parents when you're little to show that you are taken care of, that you're accepted. Nobody had to worry about, when you were little, you were not worrying about your power bill. You weren't worrying about whether or not you had food. Your parents were worrying about that for you, and they probably still do that for you, even at your age now. But just think about that. These little children, this is the only love and attention and things that they get is from Bishop and his crew and the people who work there, which they do a great job. But when you have so many children, to just really be able to have that extra special touch, and especially being Westerners and being able to talk to them, I mean, they feel like, rock stars. They feel like celebrities because you've taken time to spend time with them, or that you even think that they matter. So you guys really were Jesus with skin on to these children. And that's just an awesome thing to think about when you think about it in those terms. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So they were into flowers anyway, but that thing, necklace-looking thing, is what they gave us. Okay, well, when we first got there, they gave it to us, and whenever you go someplace and you visit someone, this is what they do. You get out of the van, and they start throwing flower petals on you, and they're in a little line. They have a little system, and then so they're throwing flower petals at you as you walk through, and it was cool. But then and then they hand you, I don't know how they make them, but apparently they make them, and they make these heavy, thick, fresh things of flowers, and
it's a lei.
A lei. Thank you.
Probably the Hawaiian name for it. It's probably not the Telugu name for it.
Because it doesn't really look like a lei, but anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's made out of flowers, and they're all stuffed into a wire. But and it's just a really huge honor thing there. It's they take it very seriously, and that's what they do. And that's me with frizzy hair. But there was this little girl who actually, oh shoot, I forgot to put a picture of her. The one that was like obsessed with me. But it was at the crusade and that he was talking about. And afterwards there was this little girl who, they had flower petals there too, so she was throwing them at me, and she was all happy with herself. But, so a family actually invited us to eat at their house afterward. So we went and had dinner at like 2 o'clock in the morning. But at their house, and it was this really tiny little house that's like 2 rooms. There was the one that was like there was one that was exposed and there was beds, and then there was the other side that was like the table in the kitchen. But and she had been making friends with me and taking pictures with me at the crusade, and she like wanted to hold my hand, and she like was just really cute. And then we went to their house, and it turned out it was her house, and so she got all excited and she was showing me around the house. She said, "This is my bed. This is blah 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 blah," and then the flowers were these just little, I don't know where they got them, but they were random white flowers that smelled amazing, and they were like showing me at the crusade. We're bonding over flowers, I guess, but so they had those, and then she still had some at the house, and she had some in her hair. So I was like, I'm gonna see what she does if I ask her to put them in my hair. So I was like, because I had a braid sticking out my hair. So then her face got so excited. I was like, it's amazing how you can change like someone's day, like someone's life. Like you're really like a celebrity. Like they are just so enraptured and just honored that you're there, and we're honored that we're there. But they're like, oh, it was like paparazzi too.
It really was, yeah.
But and so she was just really happy about that.
One of those times, a girl and her brother gave Elisha like earrings and a necklace, and they were just like, and
oh my gosh,
the brother was like, kept telling you, "You're so pretty, you're so beautiful."
No, and then we were eating dinner. It was at the children's home, and it was this church thing. The guy had to park the dang SUV in front of the opening so that people wouldn't come in, and then they started coming in the back door. I'm like, okay, can I just eat my dinner?
But one kid asked for an autograph. I was like, I don't know how to do that. Like, just sign my name on a paper.
And then there was that kid in the purple shirt that could explain that. You're better. Okay, so it was a similar situation, but we were praying for people. It was a church, one of the churches. and this one kid was obsessed with Jacob, and he kept coming. Well, because he's white, I guess was what it was. But
Wow.
But no, you're cool anyway. I'm just kidding. But so he kept coming up to him, and it seems scary.
He asked me to pray like 3 or 4 times. Like I would pray for someone, then he would come back, and I would pray for someone else, he'd come back. And then finally, Thomas, which is one of the pastors there, he's finally like, "No more, you gotta go home." He's like, "No." It was funny. He just wanted prayer, which I thought, it was cool that he wanted that.
Yeah. I couldn't, I was kind of confused. I was like, does he want prayer, or is he all star-eyed? But I think it was
probably a little bit.
Is that yours or mine? Because I didn't put that there.
Those are mine.
Okay.
Alright, so these houses here kind of relate to the other houses with the tents. So these are, I guess, nicer houses compared to the tents. Well, they're definitely nicer houses compared to the tents. But going back to like the whole like family thing, when someone gets married, they stay in that home. It starts off like on the bottom floor is where the main family, and then like when the son gets married, he builds a floor. When his son gets married, they build a floor. So their houses just keep getting taller and taller if they're in an upper class, I guess. So that's kind of what that picture's showing. And then to the far right is on the second story of the orphanage, and that's the first day we got there. All that sand there. Well, we didn't move that sand, but we moved more sand than that all the way up there, and that was a lot of work.
We moved both.
Yes.
That was there for the one day, and then we did it again.
Yeah, we did it 2 days.
Yeah.
Sand.
It was like towards the second day, and then the last day. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Is there any more slides? Is that all the pictures that you all looked at? The team. That's us.
Woo.
Me and Jen had
You
to
were
wave
there in our
goodbye.
hearts. I was really sad you couldn't go.
Yes.
I was mad.
Tears.
I was really mad. Oh my God.
most of you know, but me and Jen did not get our visas in time, so we could not leave the country. So it was sad. So I said goodbye to them at the airport and went home. And so as soon as I get home, the people from the embassy called, or the people from Cox and Kings called and said, so I see that they're still trying to process my visa at that point. And finally, at that point, they finally told me, oh, so I see here that you're a pastor? I was like, where do you see that? I didn't say I never said I was a pastor. And so somewhere along the line, that was the first indication at any point that I knew that was why they denied my visa. So we have an awesome opportunity to be able to go into the world. And this is why I love about going to India specifically, is because it's in the 1040 window. This is where 95% of the world that is unevangelized is, in that 1040 window, and India is right in the middle of that. So yes, it costs a little bit more to get there. Yes, it's a lot more difficult mission trip than anything else. But those are the people who are dying every day without any hope, without knowing Jesus Christ, and it's making it more difficult to get in. So now that they're starting to restrict, Christian activity, they want you to say that you're not going to do any Christian activity once you get into the country and things like that. And so it's not illegal to be a Christian there. So I mean they're doing fine and without any problems, or I mean it's safe to be there and be out doing ministry and stuff like that once you're there. It's just on this side of it, they just decided to be a bunch of tootie heads. And that's because I'm on stage, I can't say what I'm really thinking. So we were not excited about not being able to go, but Amic's so excited that you guys got to go. So we stayed in touch the whole time and boxed back and forth, and I was like praying for them every day. And I was like, oh my gosh, we just wanted to because we had trained together for 8 weeks on everything that we were going to do. And so I just thought, and we prayed a lot for you guys while you were there, and was so excited to see all of your pictures and everything every day when you guys were there. So anything else that you guys want to say before we close?
No, I kept boxing the pictures, and I forgot it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, oh, I love Elisha, but she's boxing me pictures at 3 o'clock in the morning. She just didn't realize it wasn't 3 o'clock there, because they're 9.5 hours ahead of us. Yeah, so it's a lot.
There's like an hour where you guys were awake and we were awake, and then after that you guys were sleepers.
Yeah, like when we got up early in the morning, we had just gotten up, they were about to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then,
flipped. Yeah. Anything else? So all of these people right here have opportunity to go with us next year to India. Why should they go?
Because of the kids. They're awesome.
Yes. Okay, that's your profound closing statement.
Yes.
Okay, but not that I'm going to do any better, but you need to go. Okay, first of all, there's a Bible verse. God says to go. So you're obeying God, first of all. Even if you only go once in your lifetime, it changes you. And I can see why God told us to do that, because it really puts things into perspective, and it grows your faith. It makes you more on fire for God and for bringing people to God, because you see the struggle and just the craziness. And even other than the faith part, just our American spoiled Western mentality, that needs to get into perspective. And so when you go to a third world country like that, that's just completely opposite.
Yeah.
You're kind of oh,
yeah,
I don't need to have that attitude. I'm taking my stuff for granted,
Yeah. And then too, when you come back, you kind of have a little bit of culture shock, trying to get readjusted to everything. Just the way that we live, the way that we drive, the way that we do everything, the way that we eat, the way that we think about things, the choices and the opportunities that we have here. Everything is just so dramatically different. Do you find that after a few days you're like, oh, we have real toilets. There's toilet paper. There's toilet paper in this country. Yes. There's no toilet paper in India.
Yeah, we don't have to use a hose.
Yes.
Or pack your toilet paper in your purse all day.
No little trains.
Or have bodyguards go with you to the bathroom.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, no. Okay, so what was funny, I think God was picking on me in a playful way. But I managed not because we went back and forth from the house enough, like throughout the day, I managed to hold it until we got to the house because it was a normal toilet at the house, okay? And so, but then one night we had been out like a long time, and you have to drink a lot because you get dehydrated because you're sweating. So you, and then you have to pee. So you get, so, long story short, you get. So we were at the church thing. Oh, we're the brother and the sister. It was that time, but and I had to use the bathroom. So what they had was a little hole. It's just a hole in this little corner behind a wall, and there's not even a door. It's just a hole for guys or girls, whatever. So I was like, I had to ask Thomas. I was like, can you get someone to guard me while I go to the bathroom? And so he did, and then there was like 2 girls, but they were actually really nice about it. So. But then God was like, ha, you had to use it. Because I was proud of myself. I was really proud of myself. I was like, I didn't have to use it. Ha! And then like earlier, like a few minutes before, I was like, Dad, I didn't have to use it. And then I was like, I had to use it. Okay.
Yeah, definitely difficult situations, or totally, I mean, it's life for them, but for us, it's totally different. The way that we live and the way that we do things, just the way that we live our lives. Yeah. So we are going to India probably again next year. I don't know that as for definite, but I'm pretty sure there's so much fruit there. There's so much opportunity there. I mean, because that particular part of Tenali, or that particular part of India in Tenali, nobody goes there. All the mission teams that I know, and I have lots of friends that go to India on mission trips, that they usually end up in other parts of India. So that I don't know anybody who goes to Tenali, this part on that side of where they are. So they're not used to seeing Westerners at all. They're not used to seeing European people at all. They're not used to seeing anybody that's from any other country, from that matter, in their own country. So they do treat you like celebrities. It's like the paparazzi with the children. It's like children are chasing you down the street. They just want to like talk to you. And that's a unique opportunity. It's not like we're anything or that we are anything special, but it's a great to capitalize on that opportunity that these people, we have instant influence, an instant crowd wherever we go, and we can share the gospel to them. We just set up in the street, set up a sound box, we got microphones, and we're ready to go. It's awesome that we have those opportunities. And so I want to encourage you, if you were even thinking about going on missions, and you maybe think, man, I wish I would have got to go to India, you should really think about going next year. You should do it. Don't let money or anything else stand in your way, because there's plenty. You'll have plenty of opportunities, plenty of really good reasons why you shouldn't go. And but I encourage you to just plow through each and every one of those and just say, well, I'm going. That's it. My very first mission trip, I had every reason in the world, and it would have been completely understandable for me to never have went on that mission trip. My first mission trip, my kids were little. We were selling our house at that time. So, I had to sign all these papers just in case the house sold while I was in Trinidad. And so my kids were 6 and 7, so I left them with my husband. And so, I had every good opportunity or every good reason why I shouldn't have went. But I just pressed through and said, nope, I know I'm supposed to go. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I encourage you to do that next year. Be thinking about that now. We'll get started early. I promise. It's what, I don't even know what month is this. It is April, automatically, because this is so different because we're used to coming back from missions in like August, and so we have plenty of opportunity to think through and help you guys fundraise and set you up for success. If you even think that you want to do it, start thinking about that now. Start fundraising now. Start just purposing in your heart and say, yep, I'm going next year. It's going to be incredible. And is it difficult? Yeah, it's difficult. Is it way different than any other culture? Yes. It's different, but it's an experience that will change your life forever. I promise you. Are you changed? I told you when we were practicing and doing stuff and doing all of our training that your life would not be the same. Was I right? Yeah? Yeah. So tell me how it's different, with your friends and stuff like that now. Just one last thing before we close. Like, how has it changed you to go after people now and show Christ to them?
I think I talk people more about it, like not necessarily going to India.
Try again.
All right, not necessarily going. Like I talked
That's
to more
Alicia's
people.
belly growling.